Cardiff had everything against them against Stockport. Sickness, injury, a dodgy referee and a side that didn't really come to play football. Welcome back to our Bluebirds Walk with Ellis and Craig, fresh back from watching that game. Not very happy with how Stockport played. Hope you're doing well. This is 20 minutes of Cardiff City chat, looking back at some of the good and bad social media takes from Cardiff City's season. Hope you are well. Right, Craig, what's the first thing we should be doing? Reporting the ref or reporting Stockport?
Oh, the ref. It has to be the ref. It was just constant elbows everywhere. It was bonkers, and he just wasn't blowing his whistle. And if he did blow his whistle, it was for a foul seconds later against Cardiff, and he was whipping a yellow card. Baffling.
There's lots of social media takes we'll have a look at in a minute, which is saying, Alice, that was probably the worst refereeing performance they've seen all season. Yeah. Probably apart from maybe the Burton one.
Oh, I don't know. I think worse than Burton. I think 100% the worst this season. You know, we've seen a lot of bad reffing this season, and I thought it was going to be kind of like an even spread across the whole season. But yeah, this referee was a different level. There was so many questionable challenges that he didn't pull up. But let's hope we don't get a ref that bad again.
Yeah, obviously we all wish Salic well. Apparently the latest from the club is that he's been discharged from hospital without any serious injury, Craig. He's now going to have a short period of rest and recovery. I mean, that's going to be a huge relief to everybody, isn't it? I'm guessing when you were in the stadium yesterday, you might have feared the worst, did you?
Well, yeah, he didn't move. You could. I was in the canteen, and you couldn't even see his feet moving. Afterwards, they must have not told him to move as a precaution.
Yeah.
But at the time in the stand, you didn't know what had happened, and he wasn't moving. I was thinking the worst is never mind playing again if he was just going to be okay. But yeah, if he's had nothing serious, amazing.
Yeah. What did you make of that incident yourself, Alice?
Funnily enough, I think that incident, I don't think that was such a bad foul by the Stockport player. Well, Brad Hills, I think it was, wasn't it? Don't get me wrong, he was pulling him around all game. He was being a bit rough and tumble. But I think that incident, isolated, it was an awkward landing. Hills has landed on top of him, and Salic's landed really awkwardly on his neck. But yeah, I don't think that was the worst incident in terms of fouling in the game. But yeah, really, really unfortunate.
Okay. Looking at the Bradford result, Craig, it's another point though, isn't it? Overall, it wasn't such a bad result.
No, it's not the end of the world, is it? When especially the way the first half ended, I thought, oh, we can win this now. But yeah, looking back, and they're playing each other Tuesday night, aren't they? Lincoln and Bradford. So it's not the end of the world that we drew. Not at all.
Okay. Interesting to see how you guys look at the table now, and in the comments let us know. 10 points clear of third, Ellis, as we sit and write this. 4 clear of second. If you beat Barnsley now on Tuesday, that is going to be a huge lead. Oh, at this stage of the season now, are you starting to believe?
Yeah, 100%. I think we're getting to the point now where, a 4-point gap is seeming to be bigger and bigger as we go on. And like you said, if Lincoln drop more points and we pick them up, the closer we get to the end of the season now, we're all going to be starting to get a bit more excited, not that we aren't already. But yeah, for anyone on Tuesday, I don't know who I want to win between Lincoln and Bradford. Maybe a draw. A draw would be a good result. Both of them drop points. If we win as well, that'd be good. But the table's looking really nice. And like I just said, the further we get into the season now, that 4-point gap that we currently got is just going to seem better and better.
Yeah. Okay. Since we last spoke, our embargo's been lifted, and we've got, of course, Tyler, Harry Tyler on not on loan. Sorry, it's been a undisclosed fee, hasn't it? Yeah, Craig. What do we know about him?
I don't know much about him, to be honest. He's been out on loan a few times, hasn't he? Is it Blackpool he's been to? I'm not sure. Looking at it, it could be a good bit of business, really, because if Trott keeps playing the way he is, we're going to have a job to keep hold of him, especially, So, yeah, I think it could be good business.
The one out, of course, you've had as well was Atete, who's gone on loan to St Mirren, I believe, Alice, is that right?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that one? Mixed?
Yeah, it's a funny one with Atete, isn't it? Because we gave him a really long contract last season or season before, and he wasn't really in favour then. So it's a bit of a funny one, but he's had a horrid time with his injuries when he's been on loan. Wherever he's gone, I know he went to Rotherham. The Rotherham fans don't think much of him, so I got my fingers crossed for him because he had a period at Cardiff where he was scoring goals and he looked quite good. Let's just hope he can stay injury free at St Mirren and get back to sharpness and come back. And who knows, maybe we'll have a place for him in the squad then.
Okay. The other big news, of course, the biggest news of all, is Salic signing his deal. I know it's old news now, but of course we missed you last week because I was down with man flu, so apologies if you missed us last week. Craig, just how big is that?
Oh, it's humongous, isn't it? I thought there'd be clubs coming in January now, let alone at the end of the season. I thought we'd have a right old job to keep him, and they still might. But him signing, I think it shows he wants to stay and he loves it. Yeah. So, and he's top goal scorer in the league. Yeah, I was hoping he would cool off before January, not score a goal in December to scare off people like before January. But now we've signed, it's all cool.
Right, and then the run of fixtures you've got next, then, fellas. So Barnsley and then Burton, then going to February, Rotherham who are struggling, Luton, Wimbledon, Plymouth, and Doncaster. You've got. Do you look at that and think there's not? Maybe Luton might be difficult, but there's not really anything there, Ellis. It's scary, is it?
No, not particularly. But I think we spoke about this not so long ago, didn't we? And we got Burton coming up at the end of the month, and we lost to them at home. So you never know what's going to come up in any of these games. But no, on face value, like you said, Luton, they're coming into form, they're climbing the table, so they could be dangerous. But no, I'd expect us to pick up a nice amount of points along the way of these fixtures, winning the majority. And then, that goes all the way up until the end of February then, where we got a massive game then, 7th of March against Lincoln. Who knows what the table's going to look like by then, but at the minute, it's looking like that's the next big game that we got coming up.
Okay. Some criticisms, as always, Craig, to put to you here. Scott, Cardiff fan, says, Osho and Chambers will not get us promoted. Yeah, they were dirty, you know what too. I think every week we see, regardless of win, lose or draw, we see comments around this. Are they just becoming the scapegoats, or is there something more to it? Are people right?
No, with Osho, obviously I was criticising him a lot when his first couple of games. I thought he was decent on a weekend, and he was really good at Bradford. I think he's getting better every game, and we might need just a little bit of patience with him. Chambers, it's a strange one because he should, by right on paper, he should be the first name on the sheet. The experience he's got, and he's not old by any means. So, but he's the one who plays us into trouble the most. I think he gives the ball away the most, and he's been in an Arsenal team that were known for football, total football. So it baffles me how he's the one who plays us into trouble most. But I don't know. I'd rather Lola and Fish, but Osho's improving week on week.
Alice, do you agree?
No, I don't think so. I think both of them have been quite impressive. And it's telling because they've been mainstays in the squad, and Dylan Lawler's kind of been on the bench the last couple of games. And I believe that we had the two best centre backs in the league in Lawler and Fish. But I think I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking we probably got the 4 best centre backs in the league. It was really nice as well, while we're on the topic of Osho, his press conference and the questions they put out of him answering on social media. And he was really honest about his start of the season. He said, it's the worst football he's ever played. And he recognises that, and he was devastated because of it. But he says he feels like he's coming through now, and that shows on the pitch. I think he's getting better week by week. He's looking more reliable, looking more assured on the ball. And when he is on the ball, you don't hear that, that kind of tension in the stadium as much as you did at the start of the season anymore, where everyone's a bit nervous he's going to pass it to the striker again.
Okay. Coming back to the referee, to make it come full circle, this one, Matt says, is the worst referee we've had since at home. Stefan has put complaint to him, have horrendous officiating, they can't keep getting away with it. Their job is to protect the players, of course, as well as obviously referee the game. Craig, do you think he failed in that fundamental duty of protecting the players in the way the game was reffed?
Yeah, 100%. I think if he was on top of it and given the fouls, I think they might have been bit more cautious to throw elbows and flying in. But he just wasn't blowing. And when he did blow, like I said, he was blowing against us. So I think it encouraged them that they were going to get away with it. And with the Salic one, he didn't. When he hit the floor, he didn't blow the whistle until Wintle made a foul. So who knows how long you'd have given it before he blew that whistle? He weren't blowing. So he would have. If you just left him there, that's a bit worrying, really.
Yeah. There was people saying that the Norwood on Robinson incident he got completely wrong as well, Ellis. Did you agree with that? Or?
Yeah, there were so many instances I thought he got wrong. They've all kind of blurred into one, so I can't even think of the Norwood one on Robinson. I think one that I had good view on, which I thought was really naughty, there was an elbow on Wintle.
Yeah.
And it looked like we were watching UFC for a second. Wintle's head snapped back. Lucky he didn't, he got back up and complained. But yeah, there were so many naughty challenges. But I think that's it's probably been influenced now over all of the refs throughout the season. People are seeing, for example, Salic get ragged around. So teams are coming here thinking we're gonna wrestle Salic, we're gonna pull him to the ground, we're gonna elbow him. Referees aren't gonna blow. So I think that's what Brian Barry Murphy, he alluded to that in his post-match press conference when he said, it's been coming. He's getting battered every single game, and there was only a matter of time before he got hurt. And in this case, it looked serious initially, but let's just fingers crossed, it's not that serious.
Okay. Right, let's move on then. We're up to the letter M in our A to Z, so we're going to ask these two for their favourite Cardiff player or any event that should go in for the letter M shortly. But of course, it brings us to managers, and we're thinking this week about who's been the best or most exciting manager for Cardiff City in your lifetime. So answers in the chat, please, on this one. Ellis, who have you enjoyed watching? Not supposed to maybe the most successful, but in terms of the style of football, which manager has brought the best brand to the Cardiff City Stadium?
100% hands down, Brian Barry Murphy at the minute. This season, it's the best football we've been playing for years that I can remember us playing. So in terms, obviously we can't measure his success yet because he hasn't had a full season. But in terms of our style of play and being excited to go down to the Cardiff City Stadium and watch our team play football, this is the most excited I've been because it's such a nice way we play football. So in terms of success, I think the one that stands out to me, or maybe two, I think I'll go with one just in case I pinch one of Craig's, but I think Malky Mackay. We got to a cup final against Liverpool, we got promoted, and yeah, we just had a good time under Mackay. He wasn't here for a long time, but he had some good success in that period.
Yeah. Good shots. Craig?
The manager I've enjoyed the most is probably Neil Warnock. He was good value. The style of football weren't great, but he got us to where we need. Apart from until he got sacked, he settled the club down to knee, balanced the books, and got everyone back on side. But I quite enjoyed Neil Harris, to be honest. He was the last manager to get us in the playoff championship until he got sacked. That first went to the playoffs. He was okay. He was decent. So I'll go with those two.
Wow, I did not expect anyone to say Neil Harris in terms of okay. All right. Good stuff. Right, on to the letter M then. Anybody got anything for this one? You probably could put your old previous answer in here, Alice, couldn't you? Anything for M?
Yeah, I got a few players came to mind when I thought of him, but I'm going to go with a player who I think's been one of our best captains over the last however many years, and it's Sean Morrison. He's still heavily involved in the club. It's clear that he loves the club, and I think in today's game, I think that's a player that a lot of teams miss. It's that player who isn't going to take any crap from anyone. He's the proper voice in the squad. He's not going to get bullied. And in a team that we got this season, in such a young squad, we could really do with a captain like that. Nothing against Callum Chambers, but he's not the same, not the same type of person as Morrison. And I think he's such a legend for this club. He has to go in there for me.
Brilliant. Great shouts. Craig?
My 8-year-old daughter's going to watch this tomorrow, and if I don't say him, she's going to slap me. So I've got to say Keeper Moore, because he absolutely loves him. Even though left under a bit of a cloud. Yeah. That we had to wait after every single game to see him. She loved him. And I loved him as well. He's bar Salic, he was the centre forward we've had for a while. He could have a centre half on each shoulder and still hold the ball up. I loved him. If we don't think about her, I'd say I loved Gary Medell. Remember Gary Medell when that year we went in the Premiership, he was good. Little terrier midfielder who could pass that ball miles. I'll go then.
Super. Two great shouts. Who have they missed, though? Some of maybe older Cardiff fans, if you're sort of above 50 or so, watching this, come on, let us know in the comments, the players of yesteryear, that these two weren't even born when they were playing. Let us know. Also, next week we're going to focus on the worst ever manager you've watched under Cardiff City. So in the comments, please, we'll read some of these out next week. Right, you two, good luck against Barnsley this Tuesday night, of course. Good luck this weekend. We'll catch you both back with Jamie here next week. 21 minutes of Cardiff chat every single week. Drop us a subscribe if you can put your notifications on to catch us. And, of course, do drop us a comment. We'll read some of these out next week. Thanks for watching, fellas. Yeah, this season just gets better and better. Catch you then.